Alrighty, welcome back. So my name is Fire. I'm a competitive player. I scrim almost like five to four times a week. I compete in the MRC. All that is, I'm a competitive player, eternity player, yada yada yada. So this will be my perspective from an eternity player who also competes on the patch notes. The reason I may sound like I'm a little bit in a rush because I just finished recording this and found out my mic was muted. So yeah, 10 out of 10. So we're gonna do this all over again. Not gonna read everything, but more so just address what I think about the. Well, I will. But I mean, not read everything. I'm not gonna read like the little text. I'm just gonna address the changes and see how they'll be a big, small, or yada yada, and to see how my opinion is on how they affect the meta. So cap, less health, 675 to 650, and reduce the shield value. I agree. He's gonna be another anchor with the new team up buffs. So he's gonna get extra 100 health. So that's gonna be 750. So I understand a little nerf in health, and the reduction in his shield also fine because he's gonna be a little bit more tankier now, and he's a hard target to hit, and his shield reflects. So yeah, for it to be 400, little crazy, right? Doctor Strange, reduction in damage, projectiles 18 to 16, and his scaling on dark magic is also going down. Doctor Strange is still gonna be good. Some people think he's gonna be bad. I think a lot of tanks are gonna be good this season, so you might not see a lot of him. But Scarlet Witch and his team up, I don't know. You might be seeing Doctor Strange in your lobby still. So there's that. Next we got Hulk. Increased movement speed, cool for chasing down people. I like that. His shield, his little green shield he puts on people, are reducing cooldown 12 to 10, and a decrease in his minimum charge, so he'll be hopping around a lot more. I think they're great changes. Hulk kind of definitely disappeared this season, with Gamma being a little bit weaker than it was in season 0. So I definitely think this is very needed for Hulk. Might be a permaban with his team up with Namor and stuff like that. If you haven't seen that, now they removed freaking Strange from the Gamma team up, and now it's Namor with the Gamma Squid. And yeah, so Hulk would definitely be more in lobbies. Definitely going to be a top tier tank. Magneto, just increases his ultimate, how long it takes to get it. Definitely agree. His ultimate is able to do almost everything. It can kill supports out of their ultimates, which very few ultimates in this game can. It can like also be used defensively. It's just really good. It counters like a lot of ultimates. Penny Parker, her auto attacks will have a chance to crit now, which sounds scary, and there'll also be a reduced penalty on her movement from 40 to 20, which is cool because a lot of Penny Parkers I would watch or see, they kind of don't use her autos that much, or when they do, they would have to be like in a good position because it slowed her down a lot. And an extra 100 bonus health, which is fine because I don't think she's a part of any anchor, and it seems like a lot of tanks are going to be in the 750 to 800 range this season. So definitely fine for Penny. Really interesting because really interesting where she comes out to be. Thing, not too much for the Thing, just a reduction in his protection from 30 to 25 on his leap. So all right, not too bad. Might not be the best of tanks with some of the shield tanks kind of like besides Strange kind of coming out, and double shield might not be a crazy thing anymore. So definitely might not see the Thing too much. Thor increases survivability, I think, because they removed one of his anchors and his movement speed. So definitely good for him, but still, depending on the meta, might not see too much of Thor. Black Widow just made it so after her second kick on one of her abilities, her kicking ability, and after her ultimate, she's able to shoot faster, which is cool. Don't want her to get power crept though. I'm gonna be honest, I do not need her ever in the meta. I need her to be a very niche pick like she is now, where people are playing her under Smurfs. Hawkeye, a lot of changes to Hawkeye. So one, he will now have a less of a movement penalty when charging his bow from 30 to 20. A little cool. Increases hypersonic arrow. 50 to 55. Small damage buff. I don't think that's really gonna do anything in the long run. It's cool though. Little power, a little power there. And his ultimate. Now this is scary. His ultimate will be able to achieve a lot faster, and his draw speed in the ultimate will be faster as well. So he's gonna be ripping it. This Hawkeye might be a little meta this season, right? And I think the reason they're buffing Hawkeye is because of his one-hit potential, and because triple support will run rampant. And if you play triple support, they kind of really didn't have too much of a high counter. Like the only counter was just throwing fucking tanks at him, But besides that, I understand why they're buffing Hawkeye. A little scary though. Hela reducing her escape ability, her flock, from 12 to 3, or not 12 to 3, 12 to 15, 3-second nerf, not too crazy. Piercing Knight, 30 to 35 damage, all right, I guess, and then a cooldown on the Soul Drainer from 12 to 10. All right, changes. More people calling for a heavier nerf. but I feel like Hela is kind of one of those characters who they have a role in this game, right? You want a character to fill that role, and it's not, most Hellas are not gonna always be like 2 headshotting and stuff like that. So it's one of those characters, and I'm fine with it. I mean, I might become off a little biased. I am a Hela player myself, so might be a little biased on this changes, but we'll see how they play though. I think she just remains in the same spot she did last season. All right, on to the Human Torch. His auto is 0.6, 0.5, just making his primary a lot smoother, I guess, when shooting, and increased the cooldown from his dive attack by 3 seconds. But they added a new effect where she gets bonus health, which they're trying to make a meta, and I respect that. Might be good. There's some damage fall off, but that's 3 seconds. You're definitely getting out of there after you dive bomb them. Yeah, I need to stop saying but yeah, I definitely think Johnny Storm, Human Torch, yada yada, and will be a okay pick next season. Okay, definitely saw him a lot in training lobbies. Don't know, haven't smurfed this season at all, so I don't know how he's taking effect in other lobbies. Iron Man, hitbox reduced, which in my opinion a little crazy, and he also gets 100 bonus health now every time he activates Gamma or his armor overdrive, and it doesn't start to fall off after 5 seconds. So Iron Man's kind of low-key a flyer assassin. From what it sounds like, they want to make him assassin. Get in, have a little shield, you know, and then hop out, you know. It's definitely going to be interesting to see. I mean, I played a lot of Iron Man Season 0, so if he became good again, I'll be down. But my always worries about playing Iron Man and without like a support duo is how much I'm going to get healed. But the armor and his reduced hitbox definitely make me feel a lot more safer if I were to pick him up. Now, Iron Fist. Bonus health, or just reducing his survivability, right? He has less health from 150 to 100 on his recovery, on his max health, so like shields. And then it falls off for 15, right? So lower fall off. And they're increasing his percent damage. So if you don't know, in the last patch they moved him up so he's like more of like a Wolverine character. They're giving answer for tank characters, and they're increasing his damage from 2.1% per. So this will just mean increased damage to almost like just across the board, increased damage and decrease cooldown on his kick. So more likely to kick people, and his kick is kind of an execute. So it seems like now he'll be able to be in the front line and also in the back line a little bit more. So just a triple hills. All right, Scarlet might be a counter. Someone like Iron Fist is gonna be running rampant next season. Okay, now we got a huge, massive changes for Mr. Fantastic. Base health 375 now, almost a 400 health duelist, mind you. Damage boost from just 5 on both states while inflated and while normal, so that's gonna hit a little harder. I just can't imagine being smacked around for 80 in an inflated state. That's gonna hurt. This one you can't make heads or tails because I'm not really familiar with his ability, but elongation. So when he's like in that little stand up mode, within range, now suffer a 35 slow effect. So enemies within range will be slowed, which is crazy. And his cooldown will also be 8 seconds. So I think he's a counter dive. I think he's like kind of a counter dive. I think they're working him to be a counter dive with, you know, Psylocke being meta, with people like who else? Iron Fist being meta. I think he sounds like a counter dive type of character, right? Reduced electricity gain from what is it? From 30 to 20. Probably from the stretch punch, so it's from increased from 5 to 8. And after entering the flay state, the bonus health provided itself has been reduced from 450. So they made him a little bit less tankier in his flay state, which this is cool. And his ultimate will now gain bonus health equal to that, the flay state. So 400 bonus. That's cool because he never had that before. A lot of people were wondering why am I going in ultimate if I'm just gonna, you know, die? So Mr. Fantastic. I saw some people on Twitter maybe saying he's still like not the best. Listen, every character in this game seems to be played for a reason, and I can get that. And his role seems heavy counter dive. Moon Knight, increase autos, so they're a little bit faster, easier to predict. So a little interesting. Bonus health on his right click, that giant moon thing he was slow. So if you hit up to 3 targets or 4 targets, you get like 100 health, which is definitely cool. It's gonna stop. It'll stop cruising at 100, so Nothing crazy after that. They speed up Moon Knight's hook, which is cool because that was like the slowest movement ability in the game. Don't know why that was the case. And they extended the duration for his ultimate by an extra second, and also increasing the talons, the hands that would fall, to 18 instead of 14. And basically what this is basically describing is closer to the center, more damage, but damage reduction at 5 meters. So at the edges of his ultimate, you would not be getting damaged that much, which is cool because Moon Knight, you usually saw a lot of survival usage when paired with Groot. He just might be one of those characters you just don't use without Groot. Scarlet Witch, and decreasing her survivability and increasing her damage against not against tanks anymore, but against just squishies, which is cool because a lot of people are, when they made her, I think they're like, oh, let's give her percent damage, because she did damage to tanks last season, whether you played her or not. But people kind of like don't use her for that reason, you know, like all that escape, you kind of didn't use her as frontline as much. So they're kind of changing her role again to be more of like a flanker, which I'm down. And also maybe like do it like a counter diver too. So no more percent damage, but now 80 damage per second now. Her burst also increased to 40 on AoE and just direct hit, and increased the cooldown projection from 8 to 10 seconds. So longer cooldown on her phasing state, and the phasing state is 0.5 seconds less, so only 1.5 seconds in the phasing state. And now on the erasure effect, right? It seems like you'll be moving. I've seen gameplay of this. You'll be moving a little bit faster when you start your ultimate, so you're not an easy target for like CC and stuff. And honestly, it seems like an ability you just want to kind of pair with Magneto. But I don't know. Now that they took the buff away from Magneto and put it on Strange, I don't know. Star-Lord, now this is interesting, right? This is interesting. Vlad Star-Lord nerfs, right? Reduce on his E, right? Because that thing was broken. On his little barrage, a damage fall off mechanic now, starting at 4 meters, and 80% reduction at 8 meters. But yeah, no, this is gonna be huge. He's gonna be way more. Gonna be way more in people's faces now to see their value. So no more like sniping or bursting from a distance. You're gonna be a lot closer. Now we're on to Bucky nerfs. Everyone's been asking for this. We got Bucky nerfs. Now his hook, extra 4 seconds on it, so he can't hook as much, and reduce his ultimate ability damage from 100 to 80, so 20 damage overall, and lowering the culling effect, the execute, from 20 to 15. I'm gonna be honest, good Winter Soldier, this is not good. If you're a good Winter Soldier player, do not worry, this will not affect you, because if you're hooking at the right times, you're not spamming the ability, and if you're ultimating at the right times, none of this will matter. This is just like a little bit of a difference, right? It's just making it so Winter Soldiers are not getting away with the crazy stuff they used to be doing. Wolverine, they're just basically tuning down his rage. Not going to go over all these numbers and stuff like that, but it looks like only one ability will be able to generate, or one ability will be giving him his, well, not berserk claws. One of these abilities is giving him more than the other, so it's just a general reduction of rage overall, and also a decrease, but he'll get an increased rage from taking more damage. And they're also nerfing his ultimate ability, so you can get up a little bit faster, 0.25 seconds, but you know, just a little bit faster. Adam, reducing soul bond cooldown, or increasing. I say reducing because it's just, you know, it means like reducing how fast you can do it. But yeah, or I don't know. Listen, work with me. Work with me. But 30 seconds to 40 seconds. Good. Soul bond was low key another ultimate ability if used properly, but not every Elder more like knew that. But little broken. Definitely gonna affect the pro scene though, and high levels like, you know, Slush showing up. Ultimate now restores 30% base. Good. This will stop the whole people getting farmed, because even it seemed like in order to res people properly, you needed 2 abilities. You needed your soul bond and you needed a heal, or you needed one of your support staff ultimate. So this will be a lot more doable, which I respect. Cloak and Dagger, they're just changing her ultimate, so basically now every line laid won't start a cooldown separately. They'll just do it all together once all the lines are laid, which is cool. IW, just nerfing her little shield by 50 health, which is cool. It stops, not saying it's going to stop the off angles, but stop making them as broken, which I respect. The Loki, just a decrease in his regen dome by 5 seconds. That's fine. Loki will still be up in there. Mantis, reducing her health, so she will now be one-shottable by Hawkeye. A little scary. But her flower and inspiration can stack up to 16 seconds, which I really love. It's a game where every character has a lot of depth and a lot of, just cool ways to use their characters. And Mantis kind of seemed very one-dimensional, but now being able to have 4 leaves, they didn't give her an extra leaf. They didn't give her an extra leaf, I'll be honest. But being able to like stack the leaves on top of each other, I feel like is really cool. Because now it allows you to like be in the action a lot more, right? So like if I can like throw all my leaves out on damage or heals or like put it on 4 targets or on 2 targets that I want it on, and I could just like go and start looking for headshots and have more damage uptime, which is really cool. I wonder if we can stack it on yourself. She said it's stacked up. Okay, I don't know. We'll see when the game drops. Now this is the big one, and this will be the last one. All the team ups are just anchor stuff, 100 health and stuff like that, but this will be the last one on the patch notes, and that's Rocket Raccoon. Now these are huge changes. They say they're addressing his survivability and his mobility. Listen, his repair spears will now do 50 health per second, right? And they're not have a huge AoE, but there's a new effect that if they pass through someone, they will do 50 health instantly. And there's a movement speed increase from 7 meters per second. Now listen, they say a one-time healing, right, effect, right? So I'm guessing the same spear can bounce off the wall and go through the same ally back and forth. But if it just means one spear, like every spear has their own one-time healing effect to doing that, bruh, you're a powerhouse. You're gonna be a powerhouse. They extended the cooldown for the jetpack to 10 seconds and the distance, so he's not going freaking crazy with it. His ultimate ability no longer give a 40% damage, 25, understandable, because now linked allies get health. You hear that? No more, here's the amplifier, and your team falls over. Like, it's not as strong as the other supports, but now it's going to be doing something. It's going to be a really good ultimate now. And now the energy cost, this is not enough. I'm gonna tell you right now, this 4,000, that's not enough. You need to make that thing 5,000. With you're gonna be healing like a madman. Rocket's about to be going for Wilt Chamberlain numbers. Sorry for the basketball reference to people who don't play basketball, but if anyone knows Wilt Chamberlain, he was dominating in his era of basketball, like crazy stat lines. You're gonna see Rockets going for 100,000 healing per game, and like it's just crazy. Like it's just crazy. People have not been talking about this, but I think this is like the biggest change this season. But yeah, that's just my opinions as a competitive player. Want to be pro player someday, but these changes will definitely shake up your ranked experience. So take what I say with a grain of salt. Not with a grain of salt. Take it with some validity. Take it with some respect, and definitely apply these into your games. Like with you watching this video, you're definitely gonna have a leg up on some people who just go next season and they're gonna be lost. They're gonna be so lost. They don't know what's gonna hit them. This is Marvel's 2.0, and no one's talking about it. But yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna be live. Hopefully day of. I'll be going back from eternity all the way back to like I don't know. It's like 9 ranks reduction. So if you want to check out the stream a day of, when you're chilling or whatever, stream will be in the description down below. But any questions, leave them down below. I'll definitely make sure to respond in the comment section. But with that all being said and done, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.